How'd you find out about us, by the way?
Actually through a friend basically.
Okay.
Just looking forward to, take a two routes actually. One could be like a E2. The other one is EB1A. So,
Yes.
so I was just discussing, they said like, why don't you give a try and see, talk to them, see maybe they may be able to help you out in that, right?
Is it a former client or just someone that was aware of Visa franchise?
Somebody came to know through somebody actually.
Okay, cool. And what would you and your husband like to do in the States?
Yeah, so I'm a registered physio in
Okay.
Canada for the last 15 years, and I did work in the Caribbean for 10 years, so 25. And I have my registration with India as well, actually, right from the country of origin. And
Okay.
my husband, he's more of like a hospitality kind of like partial IT and partial hospitality, like that.
Great.
But what I'm thinking is he will continue what in his own field, but whereas myself, I would like to thinking of to because if I want to move to US, I have to again rewrite my exams, and it's a long process actually to be registered in USA. At this point, I'm thinking rather than doing that way, why don't I open something like like a yoga studio? So trying to incorporate everything, start a small studio, focusing more into geriatrics, like older people. That's what I'm thinking actually.
Okay. And how much money are you willing to allocate to this venture?
Around like 1 and 150 because the studio will not take more than that, in my understanding.
Sure. Yeah, it's like an empty shell. All right. Are you thinking about your own independent brand or a franchise business?
See, that's where I need your help. Like, I want to know what is the difference of going. Why are the franchises advisable? Or because even if I go, what I'm thinking is if I go, say, like on my own, right? With I have my own practice here too, actually. So I own a practice here, right? So I know the background of marketing and everything, basically. So is it good to do that way, or going to, because I've lived this part of the world for the
I
last.
would I would evaluate both options for you. Like we could, spend the first 6 weeks focus on franchising, seeing what's out there for elderly care, for physio care, and do like a study on your behalf. And then, after that period, you move forward with the search and talking to existing franchisees, validating the financials, and we're by your step every step of the way. We open up the company, tax ID, business bank account. We support with the visa filing with an external filing attorney, and also we have a former consulate staffer that's in house on our team to review your file as well as prep for the interview. Do some mock interviews. So we do really an A to Z approach here at Visa Franchise. So we can help you, get started looking at franchises, and then you'll either continue down that path or switch to starting your own business. And for the visa, opening the business, basically everything to basic accounting to get the business open, bank account as I mentioned. And it makes sense to pay that fee if you're set with like what business it's going to be and you're a little more further along. So like to give an example, I had a client from Canada recently. She was going to invest in a franchise in the painting space, and then she decided to do her own transportation business, which she already had in a different country. She already had experience in that field, but she went pretty deep into the franchise, even visiting the franchisor in person, talking to numerous franchisees. So I think it's worth at least exploring to see if it would make sense to go down that path. And like to give an idea of the type of businesses, a lot of senior care businesses. Most of these do over $1 million in average revenue. Then you have commercial cleaning. So, and then there's also other ones that we can review that are more on the stretching. We've reviewed some in the past. It's just like Stretch Zone doesn't work with E2 Visa investors. We'd have to follow up with Stretch Lab, Stretch Med. So there are some options that we can definitely explore that are not so expensive to start. Stretch Lab is more actually 270 to 610, but I think Stretch Zone it used to be like I think 100 It's gone
So
up.
how's the revenue with all those actual stretch zone? And because see the physiotherapists, chiropractors do the same stretching thing. Even the kinesiologists nowadays they
Yeah.
do those kind of job, right? So like where do you get these people from actually? Like is it the doctor referral or just a walk-ins?
Well, as when I was a member at Stretch Zone, they're in like somewhat high traffic, so you see people stretching, and it's like a curious thing to see. And then they offer your first one for free.
Okay. Now, say like if it's a franchisee, because you're dealing more with that, do they take care of, like, and I understand we use their brand name, but again, they help in marketing. Like, do we have to pay for the marketing, or the franchisee will take care of the marketing and everything? Actually,
So stretch zone, we'll check, but I think 4 months ago we asked if they work with E2 visa investors and they didn't. But just to use, an example, and we have about 420 concepts in our sister company database that work with E2 visa investors. But in terms of the marketing, like you pay 2% of sales that go to the marketing and brand fee, and then you'll probably spend some other money in terms of additional marketing expenditures, and then the royalty goes into the training systems, goes into the technology, licensing their brand. So a big thing we have to see, is that worth it? If you're making 500K and you're paying 35K a year to them, we have to do the math together to see if you're getting that value. With the franchises that we work with, we do think there's definitely that value there. But there's a lot of franchises that it doesn't make sense, and it's just better to do your own independent business.
got it. Yeah, exactly. Because I was even initially I was thinking about some, like, okay, if I want to go out of the field and look into something, then there is like a lot like pizza and all those. But I don't think I want to get into that because that's a lot of inventory and all those actually. So, so whereas this is a little bit what I know, so I want to get involved in
Sure.
these ones.
Yeah, I mean, I think to the degree that you can stick to what you know, that probably makes most sense.
Yeah, look for write the exams or whatever. Later I can write about it actually, right? Okay, so for me at this point, I have three options: either EB5 or sorry, yeah, E2, and the other one would be like the one that EB1A. In case if it's get denied, then you don't get your money back. You're done with it actually. At least this one is gone at 150. That one is 800 basically.
For the 150, there you can get a lot of your money back depending on which business you invest in. I'd have to double check, but to my knowledge, I don't think I've ever had a Canadian denied twice. We had one that what recently overcome last week or 2 weeks ago, denied the first time, and then reapplied and won. But it's like 95% of Canadians just get it the first time.
Hey, you want to come to the US, get the E2 visa, L1, or straight out a green card? We've been doing this for the past 10 years, and we wrote a book. It's called Own Your American Dream. What is special about this book is that we went back and have spoken to 21 successful applicants who opened up their businesses here and who are continuing to live the American dream. Hear it from them, because they talk about their fears, their mental state, what went wrong, what went right. The entire blueprint is there. You could just buy the book right here. You can just read it and make up your mind. Continue your video.
Got it. Is it something that we can do, like put it in an escrow account, and can we do that?
Yes, it can be structured, but depending on the type of business, like it might be difficult. Like if you're going to have a physical establishment, if you're not buying an existing business, then the consulate's going to want to see that okay, you've secured a lease, and the landlord might not want to have a contingent out. So it all depends on the type of business. I have a lot of clients doing service type businesses, such as in-home care for seniors. So helping seniors with basic chores, and with that, depending on the business, you might be able, if you invest say 80K, 90K, another 30K of working capital. If you get rejected after 2 attempts, maybe you get all but 20K back. So like we would give you our feedback as long as the business is open and making like $1,000 of revenue, and you have one American hired. So we have a money back guarantee if you meet our minimum thresholds. And there's a couple other items like no criminal record, no prior U.S. immigration violations. So yeah, we put everything on the table for you. So we'll advocate for you, trying to negotiate with the franchisor to see if they're amenable to have part of the franchise fee refundable upon an E2 visa denial. Some are, some aren't.
Hmm. Just sort of question, if say like somebody just trying to understand, somebody overstayed or whatever actually, okay, if that happened in the past, like years actually, okay.
Usually, if it's like over 10 years, it's not an issue. And we've had clients in the past where they've had prior immigration problems, but it's been a while.
Okay, so that shouldn't stop anything what we are planning to actually.
The biggest thing is if you've been able to go back into the United States. I'm not concerned, and the attorney is not concerned.
I see. Okay. Okay.
But we've had some stupid like denials of people. Like one guy didn't pay a speeding ticket, and he didn't go to court, and he got denied the E2. Then he had to hire an attorney, get this, like, solve that mess, and then reapply. He got the E2. So we'll work for you. We'll work with you on it, but it's a lot of work, and we're just not going to guarantee our fee if some things are missing.
Got it. Right, 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 right. Have you worked with any of the physios in the past? Like somebody who went in this field, like more into yoga and all those, like physio, yoga,
I've had clients open up fitness studios, but I'm not the biggest fan. I think like the yoga instructors I know that make a lot of money, like at least in Miami, aren't the owners of the studio. It's rather the teachers that are doing private lessons at $100, $200, a class. They might teach at the studio and they meet their clients that way. But we have to see, if it makes sense to do a franchise, if that's what you want to be focused on. I think anything senior related, healthcare related, there's a lot of value with the franchisor because they'll help with the licenses. They know the insurance, they know the regulatory. They're kind of investigating all that, and it's a nice moat where if you're just opening a yoga studio, it's relatively simple compared to doing something for seniors that there might be some licenses involved.
Exactly. Right, 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 right. Yeah. So you explained to me regarding like, we apply it and if it doesn't go through, there is money back that which we have. Because my only concern is paying that 150. I think the officer needs to know, like, what did you invest for? What is your plan? It's basically you're pretty much everything is ready to go. So you give me a visa, I'm going inside, right? That's how it is actually. So you have to invest, you have to keep everything ready.
Right. You have to show you're really serious and you're about ready to open, or you're already open. Honestly, you're coming from Canada, I'm not concerned. Like, it's an issue in some countries, like, your neighbor, your former neighbor in Pakistan. It's tough. We have Pakistani clients and it's hard.
Is it a lot of people are applying E2 and going to US? Just out of curiosity.
Oh yeah, definitely. From Canada is, I think, the number one country. Well, behind Japan, and then I think it is Canada. That's the number 2 country for the E2 visa, and it's going up a lot.
Oh really? Okay.
Canada's our biggest market.
Right, right. I mean, for us, you want to escape the cold, nothing else here.
Yeah. And then UK is big too. UK, it's almost all South Asians too. All the business owners are fleeing the UK. It's kind of sad for the UK because there's people. I was just there like 2 weeks ago, meeting with prospective clients, and a lot of these people have like anywhere from 10 to 50 employees, and they're leaving.
Right, right. I also was wondering with all this new, changes, this administration, a lot of things are happening. Still, people are moving with what's happening, the current situation.
Oh yeah, definitely, for all different types of reasons.
Oh really? Okay, so that's not stopping them.
No, April was very slow because of the tariffs, but it seems like Trump's kind of accommodated to the markets, and he's more amenable to what Wall Street says and what his advisors say. And I think part of his plan actually worked out well with the individual negotiations with some of these countries.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, my major concern was this actually because currently I'm very well settled here in Canada where I have my own business. I've been running for the last like 10 years now, actually.
Oh, how many employees do you have?
I have a chiropractor, physiotherapist, massage therapist, osteopath, and acupuncturist, actually. So typically 5. And then the front desk staff.
Okay, so you might actually be able to do an EB1C, which it's the same. It takes the same amount of time as extraordinary ability, but it's for intercompany transfer of executives. So you would basically transfer yourself from the Canadian business down to the US business. And it doesn't have to be in the same field. It could be in the same field, but at the time you apply for the green card, you should be the manager of managers.
That's what I'm doing it here. So I operate and I'm the owner and I'm managing it actually. So you're saying like just open the same clinic.
It could be the same clinic or just common ownership. We've done about 40 of those, but it could be. I was just funny. I had a former client I was having this exact conversation with, and it's like kind of similar headcount. And for him, I told, okay, you got to scale up your US operations and then you get the green card this way. Or you got to spend 100 to 200 hours with us, the attorneys, support letters, creating this extraordinary ability petition. So it's kind of up to you. It's 20 hours of your time with us, with the attorney to do the green card through EB1C, but you got to hire the Americans. and like start, conducting the business, or you got to spend 100 to 200 hours with us and we're going to work together on your petition, but it's a lot of work and a lot of energy. We charge the same amount of money, although we probably should charge more for the extraordinary ability because it's more of our time. But I would say you have those two options. Just thinking out loud for the green card, and we'll have a couple other eyes on it. A couple of attorneys give their opinion.
So, is there any investment involved in this? Like any particular for EB1C? Let's talk.
No, you just have to show you're the manager or managers. You're able to pay the manager, the executive, which would be you. A reasonable wage in the U.S. The business has to be operating for over a year to apply for the green card. So if you buy an existing one, you could apply right away for the green card. Again, it's going to take 3 to 4 years to actually get the green card because you were born in India.
You can move there.
You can move. Yeah, we could look at. That's the thing. Like we like to start with our clients, and then we gather a lot more information from you, and we'll decide. There's the E2. It's a 5-year visa, and then you also have the L1, where if it's a new business, it's 1-year visa. If it's an existing business, it's a 3-year visa. There's no investment requirement for that. It can work for a franchise. We've done plenty of L1s for franchises or your own independent business. So you have multiple ways to move with you and your family temporarily, like in the next 4 months, 6 months. E2, L1 come to mind. And then also on the green card side, EB1C and then EB1A and then EB5. So you have a lot of options, and ideally we could start working and focus on the business, and then the immigration piece should fall into place.
Got it. And I wouldn't be eligible for L1, right? Because there is a company which I have right now, which I've been working for last 8 years and practicing, but I will not have my own registration in US if I want to practice.
That's fine. Like my first L1 was in 2016. The client had gas stations in Brazil and opened an ice cream shop.
Oh, I see. Okay. What are the proof they require? Otherwise, actually, what they need to know.
Operating agreement, the organizational charts. So we're going to have that on the Canadian entity as well as the US entity.
And you will take care of all this. You will let us know what.
Yeah, we'll take care of the business plan, everything.
I see. Okay, well, we have too many options now. I don't know which one should I be choosing then. I don't know.
Ideally, we could get started again, like looking at franchises, exploring that option. You're going to move pretty fast on it, and then in parallel we start deciding on the immigration strategy, and then we put it into place.
Okay, so which visa are we talking about to start with? Actually, you should
probably E2, but it's hard for me to tell you, in a 30-minute call. Yes, it's definitely going to be E2. Once we start working together and we get more information about your business, it's kind of a bit of a puzzle, and I want to have a few immigration attorneys look at this and voice their opinion on the matter.
Say, like, if I want to go on my own, is it easy to, will they offer the rent for, like, coming from outside?
Yes. Yeah. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. So you help with that, or?
In terms of residential or the commercial property?
No, commercial. I'm talking about the commercial.
We can connect you to real estate brokers in Tampa. That's not an issue.
Okay. And will they look in the credit history or anything? Like what
they might see what could port from Canada, but generally what you have to do, you have to pay a higher security deposit. So you might pay just 1 month or 2 months as an American, where our clients might have to pay 4 months or 5 months for the security deposit.
Yeah, so just to secure it. Got it. Okay. All right. So what is the procedure now? What should I start? Where should I start?
I would just send you the terms and conditions. So you sign off on that, you make the first payment, and then you complete the questionnaire. It will go right to the questionnaire. And then within 2 business days, say Friday, we schedule the video onboarding call. And then in about a week, we present you with the best results in Tampa.
Okay. See, like once we finalize, then I would sign another contract or agreement with you.
Exactly. Yeah, probably. I would say, like, if you sign today, make the payment, probably in like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, you're signing another agreement to start the visa processing, opening the business and all that.
Got it. Okay. And the whole process of this, the time frame could be any idea with the E2, like say like everything goes on well?
Say 4 to 8 months. I think it's taking a little over 2 months in Toronto to get the interview.
Oh, I see. Okay. Can you take care of all that, Tony? And
yeah, we take care of everything. We do what we can in-house, and then we bring in like a filing strategy attorney for certain items.
All right. So maybe, yeah, if you can just send me just a breakdown. I'll just go through
Sure.
everything, and then I could because right now I'm trying to understand.
Sure. Yeah, I can send an email that kind of goes through everything, and then hopefully we can get started on the franchise search and analysis.
Sure. So yeah. So and what we can do is like based on starting the business or going. My ultimate aim is like green card is much more solid base.
I understand. Definitely.
I don't want to keep shifting at this age. Actually, rather I would like to get settled. I'm done with it, and
When does your 20-year-old turn 21?
next year June.
Okay, so we need to file before that because as he turns 21, then he'd have to do his own thing.
Right. He's going to be in grade 11 right now. That's another thing I'm thinking. Is it the right move at this point? 11 and 12, major crucial time of the years, or should I, wait? This is another question I'm having in my mind actually.
Yeah, or maybe in the beginning you go back and forth to Florida, like a lot of our Canadian clients do. They might not move the whole family in the beginning.
Right, and then maybe after the 2 years they move actually, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all. These are the questions. We're thinking about it actually, how to go about, and is it a good time with whatever is happening? So a lot of questions actually.
From what I understand, it's better than Canada, and it's a pretty damn good place compared to
Right.
everything in the world.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm thinking, why don't we just move with the E2 and then get the green card, then you're at least settled? Because I
Yeah.
lived in the Caribbean for 10 years. Then I got my residence. I said, no, it's okay. I'll move to Canada, but it's super cool for me.
That's tough. Yeah, I don't know how you do that coming from India.
No, yeah. I was born in South, right? India South, actually, which is hot country. Caribbean is a hot. Coming here, like 15 years.
Yeah, it's tough.
Then I said, okay, you know what? When you're at this stage of life, at least if I don't try to move now, that's it. I'm done. I'm done here.
Yeah, I think the big thing is what's the best opportunity for your kids. Like, what big Canadian companies are there? There's a couple banks. There's Shopify. What else is there? The U.S. It's everything's there.
All the major places are closing down here. The Sears is gone. All Hudson Bay is gone. It's like.
Yeah, I think I guess you have Thomson Reuters, but they're probably doing more in the U.S. at this point. But yeah, I mean, for your kids, like, there's nowhere like the U.S. I think from like 20s to 30s, like for business career, even after that. But for someone that's an employee working at a company, like it's a great, Americans place bets. You can move up very fast.
Right. Yeah, that'll be lovely actually to start with and move on actually. But if you have anybody in your network, any physios who moved, just like with the license and everything, I get an idea. But not many people did, right, with the physio background.
I don't know. No one comes to mind. But like it's less regular. Like these stretching zones, you don't have to be a physio to operate it. So I think you have to decide, do you want to be a proper physical therapy clinic or do you want to be like adjacent to it? So let's look at some franchises where the franchisor, provides basically the step-by-step process for you, the employees, the branding, the marketing, lead generation, and then you're basically just managing a team and handling the financials of the business.
Exactly. So that's what I was thinking will be a good thing actually.
Well, appreciate it. I'll send you everything you need to get started as well as a recap on our conversation.
Sure, that will be great. Yeah. And then I will also discuss and give you send you an email on that actually.
Sounds good. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much and have a wonderful day then. All right.
Take care.